All right, I got everything posted, I think. All good to go. All right, oh, I need to save this file. Let's save, let's pick something, SDCC 2026, new designs. That's nice and general. Oops, nope. No. Stop. There we go. It's nice and general and non-committal. All right. Oops. Oh. This thing. Whatever it is. All right. All right, let's see here. Little drinky poo, and I know I had, let me get my notebook here. I know I had a list of ideas somewhere. I need to find it. See if I can find it. Oh, that is not the list. That is not the list. That's cool, but not the list. Not the list. Definitely not the list. Oh, come on. Did I lose another one? So many ideas. Ah, did I lose it again? Oh. Here we go. Here you go. Nope. Not the list. Oh, well, we're all the way back here now. No, I didn't have the list at that point. I guess what I did was, not good. That's definitely not a list. What on earth was I taking notes about? Goodness, okay. So apparently my notes are gone. They're missing their... Okay, well, that sucks, but it's okay. We're gonna do something else. We're gonna make it again. Figure it out again. I know I had a ton of ideas. Okay, so I know my first idea. All right, t-shirts. Alpup, hello! Welcome to the stream. I was in Vegas at the licensing expo. It was my first time there, completely. I mean, first time in Vegas, first time at a licensing show. And it was very educational and very inspiring is another good one. I got a lot of good meetings. I have audience with several publishers, hopefully in looking forward to maybe a publishing partner for my books. I have at least a few departments in several different companies that are looking at them. So like what happens is you get the first meeting, and then if you pass that first meeting, you get to, basically they take your information, they take their notes, and they give them to their staff, and the staff does a review. And that's kind of the point where they decide if they're going to move forward and offer you a contract or an advance for XYZ or not. So hopefully I will get past the next stage and enter into some further talks about possible standalone chapter books, or maybe picking up the webcomic series that I already have and I'm self-publishing on a wider scale. I had a couple of, really a lot of interest in like coloring book and activity book type stuff. So I was really glad that I grabbed my coloring books and brought those with me, because those were really, really of interest to a lot of the publishers. Apparently that is a segment that is growing quite a bit. I also talked to a lot of animation companies, and it was revealing, because there's a similar thread throughout these different forms of media. Well, to quote directly one of the animation studio people I talked to, let me just phrase it how he did. In current state of the market, it's not enough to have good characters, a good idea, and a good story to get something signed. It used to be that way. It used to be that, you know, studios would look at it. Is it, you know, does the idea have merit? Is it a good story? Do you think, you know, people would be interested in watching this, or, you know, whatever? And you don't get, that's not enough anymore. You have to have a built-in audience. So if you're looking at, let's say, the schedule of movies and pretty much anything coming out, whether it's Pixar or, you know, regular blockbuster movies, most of them are either reboots, sequels, or reimaginings of existing properties with built-in fan bases. It's because the entire industry is just risk adverse. They do not want to risk anything. But then you look at, you know, properties like K-pop Demon Hunters, and, you know, that suddenly exploded, and oh my gosh, it's a new idea, a new property. Everybody's rushing to invest in it now, but nobody really wanted to before it actually launched on Netflix. So it's sad, but I understand it. And that thread is carried a little bit too through the publishing industry. They want to see that you have not only followers on social media and readers, but they want to have, in one case, they asked for concrete revenue numbers, like, you know, how many units have you moved of this, that, and the other thing. They want to hear that before they even, you know, start considering you to sign on a deal. And I thought that was very interesting and very eye-opening. A lot of the gaming companies, I feel like the gaming companies I talked to, and there's a variety, mobile games, tabletop, they're more looking at social metrics, like I pulled up in real time some of my TikTok insights, and I should have done my Instagram insights, because I have far more runway on that one. And just kind of data to back up the numbers. And so, but the interesting thing is the data matches on both. I have a smaller TikTok following and the larger Instagram following and activity, but the data and the metrics for the followers, the age groups, and all of that, they're almost identical. It's very interesting. I know exactly what you mean. Went back to YouTube after a meeting with a group to run my family channel too. Yeah, no, and I also met with a marketing company, and they revealed some things about, you know, how the algorithm works, and some things that I had suspected but not, you know, had really heard concretely from anybody who's actually in that business. But like, for example, the Meta pay-to-play universe. I didn't really know. Well, I kind of suspected it, and the data was right there, right under my nose. But it just said, "Hey, look at this data. This is right here." So that it took someone pointing it out. But if you don't, it's okay. So if you pay to play, even just like a little bit each week, each month, the algorithm recognizes that, and they give a little bit more organic reach on your other posts and your other content. And I noticed that I had just a pure proof example of it, because I started a series I had not been boosting for probably months. I typically would boost my new comics, but I wanted to, kind of get the activity up and the follows up right in advance of the show. And so I was boosting probably for 2 weeks before. And then I had one of my comics that, it was an okay reception before, but it got really good traction with no boost at all. And I was like, well, that's odd. And so that, prompted me, of course, to put a little boost behind it to get it out further. But that was that example right there, proof in the pudding, that, I had been paying the piper a little bit, and the algorithm recognized it and was okay, well, let's release everything else just a little bit more. Kind of just like a nudge to, oh, you're getting, you're seeing, results with this. Just do a little bit more. It's, it's insidious, but I can see the mechanism working. And that was an interesting thing that I heard from them. And I don't know, I took a ton of notes. Like every night I would sit down, and I think the first night I was writing for probably about an hour or so in my notepad, just going through all the meetings I had and writing my thoughts on them, so I could get it out and I wouldn't have to hold on to it, and of course probably forget important bits. So I did that every night, have a lot of good notes, but it just was really interesting. And the floor, the show floor itself was a lot like Comic-Con, very brand and IP experience forward. So you'll see a lot of like the Mattel booth, the Hasbro booth, all of these big studio booths were all pushing the IP, and that was just a big visual experience, as well as walking into some of these booths were regular. I mean, just very interesting stuff. Very much like Comic-Con, but not the Comic-Con crowd of people. Of course, it was all business people and all people that were looking for, either brand deals or to sell their IP or to get their, licensed out or licensed in. It was very different, very interesting. And presenting one's project and brand in these days of social media is the same. I know it's not. It really isn't. It's very different. But there was a lot of interest, and I mean, really kind of global interest. I talked to people from South Korea, China, Belgium, a lot of different places that were interested in bringing more outside IPs into their region. And I thought that was really interesting. I thought that, talking to some of the other vendors, I was right across from the media company. And it was interesting to hear about how they do their business. And another person I was across from was actually one of the marketing companies that I talked to later. And it was just, that one connects. They're kind of like a train station. They have connections to a lot of micro influencers. And so what they do is they're like, okay, well, you bring us your project, you bring us your IP, your brand, your product or whatever, and they hook you up at the train station to these influencers that will then either do user-generated content or brand coverage or, brand deals like that to get the word out about whatever project, IP, brand, new product you're trying to get more awareness on. I thought that was interesting, just seeing that whole mechanism at work. And that was just one company, and there are a lot of them, I think, that do that now. But did I spell pizzeria right? Let's see, what else? Vegas itself was a lot of fun. I'd never been there before. I went to, I had a really good dinner. The first night we went to this, oh no, what is it called? Rockin' Potato, I think. It was like a food court deal right next to the Hard Rock Cafe. That was something interesting too, because like a lot of, well, several, the ones I was near, MGM, Luxor, all of that, they actually are all owned by the same company and they're all connected by these hallways. So it feels like a gigantic mall. You can walk from one to the other. And in some of these areas, like where Rockin' Potato was, it was like a food court, but it was in the middle of the area with the M&M store, Coca-Cola, and several other big brand stores that you just walk through, and then you come up and there's this kind of like mall food court there. It's an E. I'll look it up. But that was super duper good. I had, what did I have? I shared some shrimp tacos, some lobster mac and cheese. That was so good. Damn, that was good. And there's something else. Shrimp tacos, lobster mac and cheese. Oh, and these garlic truffle fries. They were so good. It was good. But yeah, the shrimp tacos were a little bit spicy. They were, so I ended up just, and it was messy too, so I just ended up eating the shrimp inside and then cooling the heat off with some of the tortilla that wasn't soaked in whatever hot sauce they put on it, because that was smoking hot. But the mac and cheese was really good. It was, I find that a lot of those can be hit and miss because it's either tasteless and just kind of like an overcooked slop, or it actually has some cheese flavor to the cheese sauce and you can kind of taste it. And this one was a good one. And then they had a bunch of lobster on top, and that was just awesome. But yeah, it was unexpected, but really, really good. I'm gonna actually double check how to spell pizzeria. All right, you are right. Pizzeria. All right. Let's just work on that because I need to do a tuxie pin design as well. So let me, tuxie pizza to match the plush. Let's work on Tuxie Pizzeria first. I did something similar with the Fresh Cupcakes design. I kind of want to have a nice scripty font. Oh, Cozy Town. Cozy Town Pizzeria. Where every slice is super nice. Could have him spinning some dough, or maybe tossing toppings. I could have maybe Tuxie. Maybe Tuxie's kneading the dough. Bloof is using one of those spiky things. Got like little topping trays here. All right, we're back. Set my mic. There we go. There's my mic. Just to not be picking up. Let's move you here and just line. There we go. Much better. That idea over here. Let's switch this to vertical. Let's make it a little wider. And it'll be longer too. So what we're going to do now is we're going to 30% it. Okay, just 30% of that tiny bit of Tuxie. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. All right, so now I need to, let's look at my font. Ashwin, hello. It was good. It was good. I have a couple of possible publishers I talked to. I'm in the step 2, phase 2 of the kind of the review process before they present with, basically they decide if they want to present you with a I guess for lack of a better word, a contract, or do an advance on a publication or book, or in my case, maybe picking up the comics that I've already self-published, or maybe doing a chapter book or a coloring book type deal. So that's where I'm at with the publishers. I've talked to several gaming companies, tabletop, mobile game, several different forms. Possibly getting something going there too. But yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Very informative, and oops. Just a really formidable kick in the pants. Hoover Dam story was great. Oh, I have a story behind that too, because so I went to the Hoover Dam last year after San Diego Comic-Con, and through that visit I discovered that I am not very good with certain heights. And so if you're not familiar with it, Hoover Dam is like this. There's like a big old drop down here, and here's the Colorado River, and then here's the Lake Mead side. And the water, they've got a couple towers here, and you can walk out. So I was okay on this side by the water. Over here, however, I could not, I mean, it's hard to describe because it's like my body freezes up. I cannot move close to this edge. And holding floof out over the edge, my hands were sweaty. I was freaking out. So another experience you can do at the Hoover Dam is not this thing, but when you're looking out from this side, this direction down towards the Colorado River, you're going to see, I believe it's 93 or 40 or something. It's this giant arch suspension bridge that goes over with cars, and you are suspended above the Colorado River, far higher than this right here. And so I wanted to challenge myself and see if I could walk out on this and just get as far as I could, and if I had to turn back, that's fine. So I have actually a lot of video leading up to it because I was fine up until about this point. And so I was doing all this video up here, going up the spiral steps and coming up to this kind of lookout point right here before you actually come here. And so this bridge, there's a pretty tall wall. I would say it's probably about, it's a little bit, I don't want to say that, probably about at least 5 feet high. It's a partition between you and the actual car, vehicle, and truck traffic going on over here. So you have this wall, and then you have a walkway here, and you've got, you know, your little double kind of tiered railing, but it is see-through. It's just holes, like, you know, it's not solid. So I got to about the midpoint before I could not go, see, about half the walkway. I couldn't progress past towards the to the railing. I couldn't get halfway. I would freeze right here, and then I would only really feel safe pressed against this concrete divider. And so I pressed myself back up against that, and then Kendra, who was with me, no problems. She was just like, give me the floof, I'll do the recording, and you can go back. And so, I mean, I couldn't even, it was a struggle for me to give her the plushie, to move away from that wall and give her the plushie and start walking back. And it's just weird because like my brain says move, my brain says go, you can go to the railing, it's okay, but my body just doesn't do it. It just is no. It, like, everything is just like, just no. And so I hightailed it back, head down, just watching this wall. And I really think what got me was when trucks would pass by on the vehicle side, this bridge would kind of shimmy. You could feel the tremor of these huge trucks going by. And that really got to me. I was just like, oh, I cannot go any farther. And it just, I mean, I looked at this way and I was like, can I make it all the way to the other? Then I'll have to come back again. And I was like, nope. I made it halfway, which was kind of the goal. And then I headed back. But yeah, so the actual footage of floof over here from the middle, that wasn't taken by me because I could not move. But yeah, I was at that point, I was going back as fast as I could this way. And, but yeah, my palms were sweaty. It was like a constriction of my lungs, just a constriction of everything. And I just couldn't, if I could push myself into that concrete divider, I would have. So that was the Hoover Dam story. But I'm proud that I actually was able to go out there as far as I did. Because it was, and you know what? I looked up and I saw there was this other lady. She had this really awesome camera. I actually wanted to kind of peek a little bit more to see what it was. She was just leaning over, taking pictures, you know, leaning over, putting, you know, her camera through the bars, and just easy as breathing, and then walking on, finding another spot. And I wanted to. I really wanted to, but I couldn't even hold the floof near that railing. So, but I got to the middle. I walked to the middle. Put up more stories from Vegas. Yeah, I do have, so I have a longer version of the, of course, with all the footage that I got walking up to the bridge. It's actually really interesting. They've got several, I guess you could call them history or monument zones. I wouldn't call them monument, but where they have these placards that kind of talk about the history. And there's one area, I believe, before you start going towards that viewpoint, it shows the design process and all of the different types of bridges they considered before they settled on this arch that's there. And there's another section where you walk through, and it's like they sliced out a piece of rock, and that's you get to walk through and you get to see the cross section of the mountain, for lack of better description. And you can see what looks like pipes or plugs into the rock. And it's for structural integrity. It's to keep the mountain together, I guess. And there's a picture and a diagram of what those things are made of. So they bore into the hill, and then they put these pipes in there that are kind of like screws. They screw together, they push it down, they screw another bit in, they push it down, and then you've got this steel reinforcement going through the rock. Really, really cool. And it looks like, it just like some nuts and bolts from the outside, just a big, giant square metal thing. But it's just very regular intervals to reinforce that rock. And so that was really interesting to see. And there's a lot more story stuff, and there's a whole graduated there's a staircase, and there's a like a ramp that if you have like a wheelchair or a stroller or something, you go up the ramp side, but you can shortcut and go up the stairs if you want. I did film, that's a nice one. I like that one. Keep that one. I did film floof gambling. I bet $1, won 2, lost 1, and cashed out. So I have a credit for $1. But I got some good footage from that. It was fun. And I found this is interesting too, and I really wonder if it's just the same machine, but they just put in a different theming, a program thing, because they had each of these gigantic, it's kind of a version of slots, but it's like extra, because you do the slot and you roll, and then for some of them, for example, like the first time I ever gambled, my sister took me to one of the casinos in Phoenix. And I played this kind of slot machine, but once you rolled, it fed like tokens to these pandas, and when the panda popped, you got like the super win or whatever. And so it was kind of a game of selecting a machine that you could judge, well, is this panda going to pop soon enough, you know, or not, or is it, you know, is it close to payout or not? So you kind of had to do a little bit of detective work before picking your machine. And these are kind of like that too, but they're all themed on different stuff, because I saw like Kong Skull Island, I saw, I think there were some Marvel ones, and just any you know, like large movie property they kind of had represented on the floor, and then some, you know, random stuff too. And then I saw this one that was Wheel of Fortune. I thought that would be kind of fun because it's a spinny wheel and it's kind of a slot machine. So I got, and I was worried that I'd get in trouble for, you know, sitting there and filming a plushy gamble, but it was cool. Another thing that surprised me was that you can smoke, because I was walking through on the first night, and this lady just lit up a cigar right in front of me. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And then this other lady came through, and she had like one of those boxes, like the snack or hot dog sellers at a baseball game. You know, they have all this stuff in there, and you just like, hey, give me 2 Cokes or whatever. And, you know, she was selling cigars, cigarettes, all sorts of stuff from that box. And just wandering around the gambling floor. Oh, I like that one. Oh, that Fenway Park, that's, you know, that kind of works. But it's not really legible. It really actually sucks in terms of legibility. So let's move on. Let's find a different one. Yeah, so that was interesting. I wasn't expecting that. But also not really expecting that all of these casinos and areas would be grouped together and kind of connected by skywalks and bridges and mall passageways with a bunch of different stores. That was interesting too. I went to M&M store. I went to the Hershey store. What other themed stores did I go to? I went to the Vegas store, which was really fun. The M&M store was interesting. I mean, you could do custom M&M stuff on like mugs and shirts and whatever you can imagine. And they make it for you right as you're standing there. And then you walk down the floors, and of course you get all the candy stuff. And the Hershey store had a lot of different, they had all of their candy properties on, like they had, you know, Skittles and all of that, Reese's. And I went to the Reese's store too. But yeah, that was really neat to go through and see that stuff. Multiple levels, all M&Ms, all Hershey's. Gotta find a good pizzeria script. I got some really cool pictures. There was a sky bridge over, I guess, Las Vegas Avenue Drive. And so you look down this drive and you can see the New York. You can see a lot of the others. The one with the big balloon in Paris or whatever. It's kind of further down the street. And so I got some really good pictures, especially since there was a point where there were no cars. So I have just the strip completely clear. And I was able to get a couple of pictures that were really cool with just no cars, no nothing. And that was cool. I need a pizzeria font. I think coffee, what was it? Coffee something? Coffee service. That could work. Double that. Oops. We're going to leave that one. We're going to think about that one for a little bit and look at some other ones. Do I stream on other platforms? So right now, no, but I want to hook up a multi-stream service to this, and I was talking to somebody, and I think I can get that done pretty cohesively via Stream Elements, and then an additional TikTok Live Studio, because I kind of want to multi-purpose and get the most out of these streams that I can. And so I can multi-stream definitely YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. I'll have to do that separate window, but I think it should be okay. I'm pretty sure my computer can handle it. Oh, that's Pizza Planet's font. It's really close. Pizzeria doesn't look like a word anymore. Oh. Now you can't even read that, but maybe. Then you won't be able to answer us. No, that's another thing. And that's why I haven't embraced any multi-streams up until now, because I want to be present on every platform that I'm streaming on. And from what was described, you get a cohesive chat. It streams it in all into one place with a pop out, and you have labels. Like, for example, if you're talking to me from YouTube and someone's talking to me from Twitch, I'll see that and I'll be able to respond individually to you. And then the only kind of wrinkle to that again is TikTok being a boob, and so I have to have a separate thing for that. But I'm pretty certain I can multitask like that. I mean, I used to have a whole collection of windows when I was doing Twitch streams. I had my pop-out chat, I had a bunch of other things that I was monitoring as I streamed. So I'm confident that I can figure it out and be present everywhere. And that, that's something that I really didn't like when I initially, popped my head into a couple of multi-streams. One was specifically, this girl was doing animation, and it was really neat, and I popped in on Twitch, but she obviously wasn't, she was just streaming to Twitch. She wasn't actually paying attention to Twitch chat or anything. She was only answering, I believe it was on YouTube. So that was a little disconcerting, and I was like, I don't want my viewers to feel that way. I want to be able to respond and acknowledge people wherever I'm showing up. So that's why I didn't, look into it further. But I mean, that was years ago, so I'm sure technology and app compatibility has only improved. No, definitely not. Know what I'm looking for, and it probably would save me more time to just draw it. Oh my god. I didn't realize I had that font installed. That's kind of funny. I like that. I do like this one. This is a good one. That's like the Ferrari font almost. Let's see. T-shirt regular. I think I'm at the end of the road. All right, so let's look at what we've got so far. Story time with you, Margarita. I'm glad you enjoy story time. I enjoy story time. like this, maybe with a combination. So I have a nice little area here where I can do Cozy Town. But I've got to remember what font that I needs to be. This is going to be loud, so I need to make Cozy Town not loud. I need to make it balance. Every slice is super nice. Slice is super nice. Let's see, what else did I do? So explored, went to, oh, this was another one. This was interesting. So one of the nights I went to eat in the New York, and that one was interesting too, because they had built, like, think of a quaint European town, or you know, someplace just like where you're walking these little streets and you've got cafes everywhere and it looks like a small, you know, little quaint town. They built that inside the casino, and it kind of flanks the casino floor, and it's almost unnerving because there's no windows anywhere, and they have built this complex to effectually keep you inside and make you forget about time and that daylight is outside. And just it makes it, I can see how it can be so easy to lose track of time and spend it all in there, because you don't know, there's no windows, there's no source of light, there's, you know, all of these sort of, you know, elements that make you think that this is a big open area. You're walking down, you're going into different areas, you're not always stuck on the floor, but it's just kind of, you can see the architecture and the design in there and what they're doing. It's a little, I don't know, it's a little something. All right, so we need to do Cozy Town. Let's do Cozy Town now. All right. Just out of curiosity, no. Well, no. Well, no. To have a softer Cozy Town. I kind of want to see what that looks like. It's not legible, but we can make it legible. It actually looks pretty horrible. Let's try something else. That's better, but not really good. Can I change this Z? Do you have an alternate Z for me? Where's my... I can just hover over it. Where's my open type thing? I'm having a brain fart. Nope, no, I didn't want to pop this all out. Where's my open type things? Thought I had that on there, but I guess I didn't. Default figure. I guess there isn't any alternates for this one. Let me look at the glyphs. Where'd my glyphs go? Should be here. Don't have any alternates. Alright, that's fine. Let's find a different font for Cozy Town. What did I use in my other designs? I think I used HW Arts or something weird like that. Let's go to H. Yeah, that's the one I used. I've used that one. Slab Antique is nice. That's my usual, so I'm going to keep that over here. But let's find something else. That's soft. I kind of like that. I could use these two. I could mix different charcuterie. Because those are designed to mix. About the B one. Boosh. Bougie. I don't think this is going to work as well as I want it to. Yeah. But it's not good as far as the... Yeah, it just looks horrible. Are there any alternates for this one? Oh! Maybe. Maybe? No? No alternates? Okay. Darn it. Yes, relish bone left, but not cozy. Alright, let's try something different. Let's try... What if I shrink this down? I think that works too well. Well, I actually kind of... Well, wait a minute. Kind of growing on me. All right, let's go forward. I think the saving grace is the near centered perfection of these two eyes. Cozy Town in the middle, A. That looks dumb. Okay, never mind. Where every slice is super nice. Every slice is super nice. And we're gonna make that lowercase. Where every slice is super nice. Did I do 2 wedges of pizza pointing at the tagline? Every slice is super nice. Could do like That's a bit much. Kind of like the slices here. Okay, let's do one other thing. Let's just to experiment. That's shouting. That's shouting, but we're talking about legibility on a t-shirt here. Nope. Cozy Town Pizzeria, where every slice is super nice. I could make the eyes little pizzas. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. That's too much. The little slices right here are good. All right. All right, I'm gonna roll with this right now. And let's make my little slices. Need to make one roll. Why are you doing that, Illustrator? What are you doing? What are you even doing? So let's do slice. Well, I guess let's sketch it out first. Maybe it would help if I did the slice like this so I can make sure it's symmetrical. Or at least close to it. Oops. Or you really want me to read that? Welcome, Chris. All right, there we go. I need to. Ooh, there's a stray piece of something there. I need to do that. I need to make this a little bit. Do a little detail. That's not going to show up, but that's okay. Seriously? I thought I deleted all that. Alright, now I have a good slice. Get rid of these. And win. Oh, wait. So we have all right, so here we go. There's my title. Or I could, I'm gonna group this and I'm gonna move this out. I could tilt, depending on the design. I don't want to, I kind of want to skew it, but I think this is cute. I think this is cute. I kind of want to, no, no. I'm just going to leave it for now. I've got to figure this out, which is the illustration below, and it has to be tuxed. So he's either kneading dough or he's tossing dough. I want to have him I can try the kneading dough. Well, I feel that this is a very square design right here. It's just, and that wouldn't work with the thing tilted, but this could possibly, because the pizza could be right here and the flute could be eating all the cheese. All right, let's just start with drawing text. One lady, it was a publisher lady, she was looking at my my artwork and she complimented the lines. She liked the thick lines and she was like, those are really popular right now. I'm like, those are just how I draw. It wasn't a marketing decision to use thick lines. That's just how it happens. Oops. Okay, I need to group Tuxie now because I have all this mess. think there's something interesting I saw. Oh, I don't believe my video of it came out really well, but the last night that I was driving back to Texas, we were pretty much chasing this gigantic lightning storm the whole time. So on the horizon, it was moving east, we were moving east, but of course it's moving faster. So I didn't really catch up to the storm until we got back to Houston, but it just was, a lot of the lightning was in the clouds. Still, I know there's a word for that, but it was just kind of spidering across the sky and out every couple of minutes. And it was just so neat to see that, because where we were, it's just flat and just big sky and just as far as you can see, just to the edge of the horizon. And so you've got these clouds and then you've got this lightning kind of spidering out, and it was cool. It was cool. And the sunset was really cool too, because it had, it was bouncing off of those clouds, but the clouds at that point were kind of rolling and tumbling across the sky. So you had a lot of these cumulus ones that were really fluffy and bouncy, and then you had some of the jet stream coming through that was kind of like sweeping them, you know, smooth. And then you have the light kind of bouncing off of all of that. It was really, really cool. That tucks of your head is kind of weird, bub. That's a little better. Saw this, I don't remember what the car was, but it was not rated to tow the trailer it was towing. And so the car was kind of like, I swear the front legs were off, because the rest of the car was like this and the trailer was over here, and I swear these wheels were up off the ground. He had to pull across the side of the road, and that was kind of nerve-wracking to see that, because he could not keep control of that trailer. Is there any other? Really, there are some nerve-wracking moments on those drives, but really it was just the cool storm, the questionable towing setup. Eyes a little bigger. A little less bean shaped. Whoa. Just pausing here. I'm doing a rough sketch on his arms and body, because I want to have, that's his legs, his footers are going to be here. He's going to have a little apron on. I think I need to get this proportion a little better. And if I tilt the title, I'm not going to have as much room for he tosses the pizza this way. It really kind of, when you toss a pizza, it kind of needs to be up here, right? I've tossed a pizza in my life. Maybe his arm needs to be a little bit more vertical. This one needs to be more like this. And then if I skew the title, that will echo the angle of this pizza a little bit. And then I need to have a floof down here eating a bag of cheese. Yeah, chicharrones. What, chicharricos? That's interesting. They're called chicharrones. I wonder, because that looks like regular pork rinds here. I kind of like that now that I've looked away for a minute. Maybe I'll have some tomatoes here, like or maybe instead of a bag of cheese, maybe Nova, hello, welcome to the stream. Maybe he's looking at maybe he's looking lovingly at a big wedge of it. He's looking at a big wedge of parm. I'm going to change this to a safflower. I'll have some tomatoes sitting around here, but I like the wedge of cheese. I like that. I think I can then tilt the pizzeria, and that would be really cute. Now the question, how many colors? Oh, that's Momo. That's my inflatable Momo. So she's about 6 feet tall, and she actually, I just blew her up, I think it was yesterday, to after she goes out to convention or anywhere, I always wipe her down. But yeah, she was definitely, she did her work at the convention and attracted a lot of people. So yeah, she's really a, and she's built to go outside too. So she's got tethers, but I've never taken her outside. She's built by this Design Inflatable Group, I think, and they're out of San Diego. But they've done some really incredible inflatables. They did this, oh God, I want to say it was 20 feet. It was a giant Ozzy Osbourne inflatable that was like 20 feet tall, and they had him at San Diego one year. It was a couple years ago, so before he passed. I don't know if there was like a big event in conjunction with that, but so they made that one. They made, I believe they made, I know they made some Rick and Morty ones, and I think they made, I don't think they made the giant Pikachu Pokemon one. I believe they made the giant butts on stuff bouncing ring, which was at San Diego last year, and it's just like, it's like a cage fight like ring, but with butts, and you jump in and jump on the butts. They did that one. All right, let's get Tuxie finished up here. Actually, I think his paws are all right. Let's just get this cleaned up a little bit. Trying to think of what else interesting I saw. I didn't go to any shows, just kind of walked around and saw what there was to see. Why does it keep doing this? Why does it go halfway like that? It's not doing it. Weird. I just missed the Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil one, which I thought could be really cool. But that one, I believe that was on a Friday. I could have gone to see Wizard of Oz, but again, that was really, it was like an 8:30 showing. And then I think Gwen Stefani, Blake Shelton were playing. Gwen was at the Sphere, and I think Blake was elsewhere, or did earlier than she did. The Sphere was pretty cool. I saw that in the distance. I didn't get up close. Okay, Tuxie, your booty's not cooperating. There we go, that's a little better. Oh. Ah, heck. I'm not in my group. Oh, I am in my group. You sometimes feel very proud of your art. Yes. Yes, I do. I think most notably when I'm hearing from somebody, like if, you know, a comic or an illustration or a character has really touched them or resonated with them somehow. Just hearing that, seeing reactions at the booth, it's really special. And especially little kids when they really love the characters and just, you know, they're so excited to see them. It's really cool because that's what I was like when I was little, when I was reading Snoopy and Calvin and Hobbes and Garfield, and those things were inspiring to my imagination, and to be able to pass that on with something I made to someone else, that's really special. hello, welcome to the stream. I'm gonna need to draw an apron bow deal here. You can curve here and that apron's gonna kind of do that. Maybe I'll bring this in a little bit. Don't need this anymore, let's erase it. Then you can move up this back leg a bit. Thank you, Zainab. Almost there. Did I forget to clear? Yeah, I did. Sure. He needs to have his red sweater on, so let's go ahead and let's put his paw right there, and then we've got all of this is going to be behind the apron. Go. A little pocket on the front of his apron so I can give that a little dimension and have it poke above the edge like that, just a touch. All right, now let's focus on his paw here. Erasing everything that I've drawn up to this point, but that's okay because all of this helps me to keep stuff. So let's do the he's tossing it up so the air will be a little bit floaty on his shirt. And I think I'm clear to go ahead and remove the bottom half of his face, blocked by his arm. All right, there we go. Bottom part of his shirt. Let's do a little bow here for his apron. And I can erase this little extra bit. Let's get this spinning pizza. That out of here. Let's redraw this pizza. I don't like that. I kind of want to work in this little spinny bit. Like that. Whoops, not like that. Maybe like this. Little restraint. There we go. Right. Save, since I haven't saved in ages. And I'm gonna duplicate my logo here. Alright. I can take out my rough sketch now too, because I have, whoops, no, I didn't want to put that in a library. Get this out. Pizzeria. Every slice is super nice. Now let's go in here. I need to draw Floof with his cheese wedge. parm has kind of like a rind on it, so I think I'll do just a little slice right here and a little slice right here, and I'll take this out so you can see. I have to get out my, got a wedge of parm from Costco. I have to get out my Costco wedge for reference. Gosh, it's so good though. Sometimes, well, when I'm feeling particularly fat, I like to take, and this is something I saw Wolfgang Puck do. He takes slices of parm, just like little chunks of it, a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt and pepper. Oh, no salt, just pepper. And it just, oh, it's good. It's good. Aye. Kind of like the same thing with tomatoes. You slice a tomato and then just do salt and pepper, and it really expresses the flavor. I worked at a grocery store once, and it was kind of like a Gucci grocery store where they have all sort of specialty products. I worked in their art department, but regardless of that, you had to go through their introductory, basics course, and that included exposure to a lot of the things that they had in the store. And so that was the first time I tried Biscoff, like right when it was coming over to the US. There was also that tomato thing I learned from them. I tried one of those weird, I don't really like the grape leaf like roll up things. I tried one though. What else did I try that was weird? Several things. But that was another kind of foodie thing that they taught, was just how to, tasting and I will group the tomatoes together. Maybe I'll do like a little bunch of cherry tomatoes. That's not too good. Revising my decision here. Maybe going for a nice plump heirloom tomato. put like baguettes or something in a barrel of baguettes. Sure my barrel is even. Nope. Alrighty, I think with that I've got most of this done, which is a good, very good start on this. Oh, I still have that in there. Let's cut that. Let's paste it in front. There we go. And let's make this a little bit bigger. And I think I might do it like that, just a slight tilt on that. And I might do the round. Might do a little check pattern cloth over here or something. Maybe I'll do that over here. Like he has a cloth underneath in his apron string. Or maybe I could have a cloth over his shoulder, something like that. Thank you, Pete. Maybe his shirt will be that pattern. Eyes in there. Alrighty, I think that'll be it for me today. I got a lot of really good work done on this. I've got the Cozy Town Pizzeria logo, I've got this, so just a little bit of finishing left to do on the design itself, just deciding colors, and I've got to fill in the breads over here. And maybe I'll do some more cheese wedges or something behind here. Maybe more little tomatoes or something. But yeah, that's, and then maybe just make this smaller and then fill in more details on the barrel. But yeah, that'll be good. And then I can kind of start thinking about t-shirt color, line art colors. How many do I want to make this look like old-timey? Maybe 1 to 2 colors max. I'll have to kind of work that out, because I could definitely see this like on like maybe 2 to 3 colors max, maybe on a white shirt or something similar, but we'll see. All right, let me go ahead, and I saved already. And let me go and do my ending screen here. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will be back on Thursday with comics. So I'll be doing Friday's post then. And if you'd like to see how the comics are made, be sure to tune in again then. I post my Go Live notices on Twitter and Instagram, so you can follow me there. And I also do lots of behind the scenes stuff as well. Thank you, Zany, Nova, Chris, Ashwin, all my lurkers. Pup, I don't know if you're still in here, but thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you next time.